This is part 4 of a 5-part series on Curtis and David Roosevelt, growing up Roosevelt grandchildren. Curtis and David Roosevelt, part 4, Embarrassment. It comes a time in everyone's life that you will make a fool of yourself or embarrass yourself in front of your grandparents. Curtis and David Roosevelt would not be the exception to that rule. Curtis recalls his first memory of putting his foot in his mouth as a young kid. My grandmother picked up my mother and Missy, FDR's secretary, from FDR's study, and they proceeded upstairs. Gathered around my bed, each intoned her wish that I should sleep well, kissed me, and then returned downstairs. It was in front of this delegation that I would embarrass myself. I remember it this way. As Missy leaned over to kiss me goodnight, I noticed that she had a little dark fuzz on her upper lip. And when she bent over to kiss me goodnight, I took it into my head to announce, "Missy has a mustache." Nobody knew quite what to say, and there was embarrassment all around. David recalls a moment that as grandchildren we all have done, walking or running into a room unannounced on our grandparents. For many, that would have meant getting in trouble, but for David, he paints a different picture. I loved playing outside for hours at Valkill as a young boy. Eventually, I would tear through the house at great speeds to get to her bathroom, usually the closest to whatever I might be at the time of urgent discovery. Racing through the study where Grandmere might be quietly working with Tommy, her secretary, or later Maureen Corr, or meeting with important people. It seems I always waited until the very last minute to make that urgent mad dash. She never scolded me, or grew agitated in the very least by the carrying-ons of her grandchildren, despite the fact that there were often many of us causing utter chaos. Of course, I am certain even we could push the limits of her patience. But perhaps I have just forgotten those rare moments.